I wanted to pipe in and say there are certainly countless advantages to being bilingual. You get to be a double agent in lots of situations, spy on conversations. But there are also some dangers. So one thing I've discovered is if I meet someone for the first time and they don't know I'm Russian, I have to tell them very early on, because if they know me for a couple of weeks and I still haven't told them, when they find out, they become very suspicious of me, almost like, is she some kind of Russian spy? Sometimes people can't hear my accent, and it just seems so strange that someone would sound so American, and all of a sudden you discover they grew up in this other world. Because language is so tied with identity, you just put a particular identity on someone. So when someone hears me speaking American English, they imagine a very American upbringing and an American identity, and then when they realize, oh, she came from Russia, that really turns them around. And in fact, lots of research shows that when people speak in a different way than you expect from the way that they look, they seem suspicious. So, for example, if folks whose family came from Pakistan start speaking with a Scottish accent, there's something very suspicious sounding about that. People don't trust that. They want there to be a clear relationship between identity and language, because we feel so strongly about the languages that we speak.
Lera, when you speak English, do you feel that you have one personality? And then when you speak Russian, is your personality different?
You know, I think most bilinguals feel that, and it's hard to separate whether it's really a function of language or it's a function of the associations that you have with speaking that language. So for me, Russian is the language of my family and my childhood. And then English, of course, is the language of work now and the language of adulthood. And of course, they have very different associations, and they have very different I play very different roles. But this is a very, very common experience. Bilinguals very often report that they feel like they're a different person. And actually, there are a couple of studies. Jamie Pennebaker in Texas has done a couple of studies where he had Spanish-English bilinguals talk, either in Spanish or in English, and he videotaped it, and then showed silent videos to other people and asked them to rate personality. How outgoing is this person? How energetic? And he, at least from these silent videos, he saw differences, that people acted differently. Of course, there may be cultural conventions that go along with how much you gesture when you talk, things like that. But it's certainly a very common experience. Do you feel like you're a different person when you speak different languages?
Yes, but there's one. You know how I feel that it's so easy for Americans to say "I love you." And it's impossible to do that in Chinese. And there's my mother. She's on her deathbed, okay? And this is the time, and I've got 5 brothers and sisters. This is the time to come to her deathbed and say, "I love you, Mom," okay? We couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't do it. And then my youngest sister, who's more American than I am, because she's 9 years younger, and she went to the bed and she said, "We love you, Mama." And I thought, yeah, I can do that. So what is that? I think it maybe has to do with a communal language. Oh, English is a language that's very individual. The I, that capital I. And in Chinese, it's more, we can speak for us. We are family. And I can say, "We love you." But boy, "I love you," it's hard.